In preparation for the confirmation of Strage's due-datedness, the gang head to the swamp, hoping to catch a catfish or moss elk for the feast. Alas, while on the hunt, they run into more leeches, and a frantic battle ensues. Meanwhile, back at the manor, Fiona is tending to Henley and observing the strange behaviour of Reroyce. Back in the swamp, the gang slay the leeches, with only Debbie getting slightly slurped on. They continue the hunt and soon track down a moss elk, which Babs charms with magic. Unfortunately, Babs decides that the elk is now her bestest best friend and unsuitable for consumption. Fortunately, the party find a large catfish, which is an acceptable substitute. Fiona, while waiting the return of her companions, does a bit of snooping and finds Navrist the groundskeeper's journal, which reveals that he intends to sacrifice Strage to take control of the house. When they all reconvene at the manor, Fiona shares the information, and Strage starts a campaign to win over his homicidal servants. As night falls, the gang settles in for an uneasy night, but at least Henley receives medical care and will probably live a long and happy life. What did the gang get themselves into? Will Henley live a long and happy life? Can they convince Navrist that froggy sacrifice is bad? Let's find out now on Pawns and Patrons.
Go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pawns and Patrons, episode 9. It's been like 5 or so weeks since we saw each other last, so I'm very excited to see you all here today. How are y'all doing?
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
How about you?
Vaxxed and ready to text.
Ooh.
There's nothing that rhymes with that. It's not good.
Vaxxed and ready to attack. That's pretty
Vaxxed
good.
and paid my income tax?
Ooh, yeah, I did pay my tax.
That's so responsible of you.
Vaxxed and eating snacks?
Ooh.
Yes, that is my perpetual state.
Yes.
Vaxxed and totally relaxed?
Ooh. That's
See, these are all better. I just
Vaxxed
need
and
to open the door.
relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Vaxxed and just bought an axe.
Oh, yes. Totally applicable to most
All of these
lives.
on t-shirts. All of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Y'all are crushing it. Thank you for sharing your wit with me today.
That was the highlight of the show. I hope you can carry us from here,
Yeah.
Stephen.
You got this.
That's all I had planned.
I give it my all.
Well, springtime is coming to the Netherlands, right? It must be so beautiful where you are right now.
We've had a very weird spring. It is beautiful where we are right now, but we've had a very strange spring. I think it was the coldest April on record for the last 36 years or something like that. Yeah, we've just been hanging out mostly in like the rain. Today is like gray and steadily rainy, which is very pleasant, but every once in a while we'll have like a gorgeous, beautiful 15 to 18 degree day where we get to go outside and like rollerblade around and whatever, and that's super fun. I feel like
Tell me about rollerblading, because I have rollerblades and I just bought myself knee pads, elbow pads, wrist guards, and a helmet so that I could actually safely use said rollerblades. I'm
hell
really
yeah.
excited.
That's the way to be. So like, I feel like rollerblading or roller skating are really excellent late pandemic activities, because it's like, we're all desperate to get back outside and do physical activity again. We're all desperate to be social again, but we can't quite, like, I think even in like well-vaccinated regions, we can't quite overcome the lurking concern that we've been living with for the last year and a half, justifiably. But what that means is that this nice, like, semi-social outdoors activity that's easy to spend all of your time like 6 feet apart is a really great way to like get back out into the world. So yeah, Jess and I got roller skates for her birthday a couple weeks ago, and we've just been like learning how. So like we're both still quite bad at it. Like, I think just the other day was the first day we were on them for more than like half an hour at a time, and we actually traveled to another part of the island. We even went up and then down a small hill, which was
Whoa.
terrifying,
Wow.
and also fun. So yeah, like we just like looked on YouTube for a couple videos for like how to go with the
Oh, that's kind of smart.
with the rollerblades. Yeah, and like, you know, I practiced falling, so like, you know, you get down close to the ground and then you fall forwards onto your knees and then like catch yourself on your wrists and maybe elbows.
Oh, see, I need
Yeah.
to learn these things because what I did was I bought these rollerblades while I was living in San Francisco, and I was like, this will be great. I'll rollerblade from the bus to my office, which is probably about 15 minutes walking. And that will be so easy because when I was a child, I used to rollerblade all the time. And
Totally.
I was great at it. I remember that. So I was like, great. I got off the bus, put on my rollerblades with no pads or anything in downtown San Francisco, where I consistently almost died, even as a pedestrian.
Nice.
I did that once and then haven't used my rollerblades since. So
That sounds like an intense learning circumstance for rollerblades.
yes, I generally consider myself to be a fairly intelligent person, but sometimes I do things that maybe it's my optimism, you know? Maybe I'm just so optimistic.
I also thought that I would be better at rollerblading than I had been, or like because I rollerbladed as a kid, and I thought like, yeah. Okay, I can just.
I remember making cool turns and stuff. I
Right.
could go backwards.
And like getting on my feet and like moving forwards is kind of like, that's okay, especially if I'm on a flat surface. It's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But doing anything other than that, including like stopping or like turning quickly, going backwards, no, absolutely not. So yeah,
That makes me feel better. Thank you, Stephen.
It's been a lot of fun learning. There is much learning to be done. It is more complicated than I remember it being, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So yeah.
A lot of my friends are buying roller skates. I think
It's become super
trendy.
popular. I
Mhm.
see like the roller skating trend growing on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be like a weird nugget of the pandemic to like weave into our storytelling as old people and be like, yes, it had many phases. There was a sourdough phase. There was the we were all on wheels phase. Like,
Yep. I feel like there've been
true.
like a couple of video game phases that I've gone through as well. There was a Final Fantasy 14 phase, a League of Legends phase, a World of Warcraft phase. It's like all those classic games that you can, if so desired, pour 100% of your time into. Just like,
and we beat Eco over. Like, I didn't know you could. Yeah, we shot the meteor down, boys. So
what game? Oh, Eco.
Eco.
Okay.
yes,
my
if you ever
brain
want to play
snapped
Eco
to-
again, though, I'll buy us another server. We could go.
My brain snapped to Ico, that
Ah,
game, like the precursor to Shadow of the Colossus, and I was like, "We what?"
that would be like legendary.
Right? But we're here. It's a beautiful, pleasant, cool, rainy Saturday afternoon here in the Netherlands, and I hope that the weather is similarly pleasant for whatever desirable reason for each of you. And we had a fantastic recap of Pawns and Patrons episode 8. And here we are, ready to kick off episode 9. Are y'all ready to begin?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So just so that we remember, we found a journal from Naverst Brow where he like slowly slid into obsession with becoming the true heir of the house. And I think the final line of the journal, if I recall correctly, is, "When the blood of Duday floods my veins, then shall the house have its true heir."
No.
This is a gentleman who's been nothing but welcoming and kind
Yeah.
to the 12 of you.
I refuse.
Yeah, it's
This was not written, Stephen. You're wrong.
shocked that this must be an old journal. He must no longer be this way. And then I think we faded to black on like nightfall at the end of last time. What else happened last session? Did anybody end up with any new like companions or anything like that? That seems to be a running theme.
Oh yeah, my wood elk.
Yes, moss elk.
Moss elk. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This
So what
was
is your
this was
moss
one of the
elk's
finest
name?
roleplay moments that I have ever shared with this group, which was that we had a moss elk, and I, instead of fighting it or running from it, decided to charm it, and it worked surprisingly. And now it's my friend.
And what is its name?
Did I name it last time?
Oh,
You
yeah,
did.
you did.
Oh yeah, I did. It was so good. What was it?
It's in your journal under Anna characters.
Not on a character sheet. I was looking on a character sheet on Babs.
It might also be
Jägermaster.
Yeah.
Yes.
amazing.
Jägermaster.
Here you
The
are
elk.
And
And
this elk is constantly looking just a little bit drunk because it is Babs's elk, and because Babs has mind controlled it through the charm person spell, has adopted some of Babs's mannerisms.
It's just a temporary thing. You know, animals can be skittish at first. Just controlling the mind to like keep Jägermaster from getting anxious, and then of course eventually we'll let the mind control go and we'll be best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the way it'll work.
after a short period of time, like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Traditionally, when charm person wears off, the person loves you for casting it. So
Of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Never
traditional.
working.
As a very experienced wizard, I think this to be true.
Before we continue forwards, let's remind ourselves all of the cool abilities that our characters all have. Are we all looking at this character page? Let me see. Let me find if there's a good page for us to look at that's nice and well organized. Answer: no, absolutely not. All right, cool. So what do we have? Let's take this character page and then well organize it. We've got Chattanooga the mule. Whose mule is Chattanooga?
It's
Your
mine.
mule.
It's mine.
Whose mule is this? Mule? Anyone? Headlights
So-
are on
so-
the
It's
mule.
mine. It's mine. I paid for
Mule
that.
up front.
Stretchduday, Lurjui, and Beskri have
Yeah,
Chattanooga.
it was Lurjuy's mule, because Lurjuy is the one that started with all the money and
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
best
yeah.
equipment ever. And then she needed to transport all of that really expensive equipment. So she got a very expensive mule.
Let's see. It looks like we've got, Babs and Scribbles from Anna, and also with Babs and Scribbles, we have Rachel and Anna, the hunting hounds. I guess they're actually herding dogs.
Yeah.
But they've just been hanging out happily with you all.
Yeah.
And then we've got Kate, Sky, and Dee from the Neal contingents.
Mhm.
And then Agnes with, of course, Senga. And Evie, who we have renamed Evelyn. Henley, of course, is no longer terminally ill, but nevertheless quite weak in their wounded state. And of course, we've got Fiona with Rachel, whose horse is D'Artagnan. That was the noble's horse that you all absconded with. Am I correct?
We liberated.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's his own horse.
Liberated with.
Let's see. I mean, I think the plan was to maybe bring him. Well,
Well, whoever
We
our
didn't have a
tracker was
plan.
sort of leading the horse at the front, but Senga's been riding it on top.
True. Senga's been
Okay.
riding
The
the
people's horse.
I mean, it was Babs was going to try to make that her horse until she got a moss elk. So
Yeah. Well, we can debate that when we get back,
And let me see.
For
if I
now,
can
it's
find
our horse.
yeah. Why
some
can't we
kind
share?
of elk token to represent Jägermaster. There couldn't possibly be an elk under the E's, could there? That would be so convenient.
You want me to send you an image of
I think I
Jägermeister?
put one in our chat at some point. There it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Let's see. I'm putting it in our Discord, and I will also. I
It's
don't know how to
beautiful.
link-
Oh
don't know
my
how to
God,
link
look at
it.
that. That's incredible.
It's so stylish.
This picture we can all see is so good. You guys at home
It's really
can't
good.
see
I'm trying to
it.
think of
Y'all are
how to
missing
give it
out.
to them.
It's
I
this
can put it
elk.
on stream.
It's a deer with like a huge amount of moss just like hanging off of it for whatever reason.
It's so stylish. Like it's clearly superior to all the other elks.
I'm linking the image in my chat.
I hope that maybe that's what the elk was thinking. He's trying to pick up all the lady elk. Like, can your elk do this?
Moose, elk, deer, maybe.
Although I imagine that Jägermeister has more like moss growing down his back than that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's like extra moss for
Yeah.
sure.
I think there's also like a large amount of there we go. I think there's also like their antlers are covered in moss.
Mm.
The idea.
Yeah, and
that
I
they
imagine
added
some like that like lichen moss that kind of drapes down.
Yeah. Like Spanish moss, like
Yeah.
just the hanging, dangling moss.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I'm gonna grab an Aurochs token.
So majestic.
Let's see. Yep.
I'm so scared for Stretch. I forgot I was scared. I was legit scared last time. And now like it's all coming back to me. I'm like, Stretch can't die.
Controlled by Anna. Name Jägermeister. Anna, please roll 1d8 for me, if you would. Holy shit! This is the healthiest elk I have ever seen.
Yes. Vibrant.
Vibrant,
The
healthy.
verdant elk.
Well,
Verdant.
I'm glad you got a good roll for.
This elk is it's like equal to any three of the party. This is incredible.
If that's
Guess who
my
our new
only good roll
frontliners?
for the whole game today, it will have been worth it.
Yeah, right?
We'll throw it at the front and scream, "Oh!"
Yeah, we're just team cheer on the elk now.
I need to get an elk noise. Isn't it like like it's like a really high, squeaky, trumpety noise?
I
I
don't know, but I'm
believe
gonna
it.
Google it.
Yeah. What does the elk say?
Oh my god.
Oh God, no!
Wow. That's
Throwbacks.
like
Oh, this
if
brings
there is
back
such thing as a
memories.
geriatric millennial meme, it's that one.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, that song haunts my life forever. You know, like I presented at E3 and I was stuck for 3 days in a booth right next to the Just Dance area, and it was the song of the year. So every
no.
5 minutes, it came back, and it was so loud. And I'm trying to present Rainbow Six, and it's so serious and everything. It's like, what does the fox say? Everybody hears it as I'm trying to be like super like destruction,
Generate the hype.
explosions.
Yeah.
It's coming from within the Ubisoft booth.
I
Sorry.
googled elk sounds, and the first result is listen, these elk sound terrifying like ring wraiths from National Geographic.
Amazing. I love it. All right. Oh yeah, I heard. Cool. So now we've got our party all set. Before we get into it, I feel like last time we had like a couple of cool moments from some wizards, but we should remember that there are cool things that all of your characters can do unless they're level 0, in which case you send them into the front to die as cannon fodder. But I made an wait, it's not an old journal. If you look in your journals tab of Roll20, there's a tab called there's a heading called DCC Rules, and there's a handout in there called DCC Class Abilities Reminder. I'm telling you where it is so that you can look at it whenever you want, but I will show it to you now. So
Wow.
because all of our characters have cool special abilities, I wanted like a one-stop shop where we can just be like, man, what does my cleric do again? What can I do?
This is such amazing extra work that you did. You're such a great DM, Steven.
I
true.
like making games easy for people. It's fun. And it also helps me because then I'm like, oh, what kind of cool situations can I set up to like help people do the thing? But thank you. So just as a reminder, all of our characters can burn their luck, permanently reducing their maximum score in order to add plus X to their roll, where X is equal to the number of luck points burnt. And you can do that either before or after you declare your roll. So you can actually see, oh shit, I failed that roll, I'm burning 3 points of luck. Cool. Remember, of course, that luck regenerates very slowly. You only get +1 to your luck at the end of an adventure, or when acting really notably in accordance with your alignment. Like if you slay a chaos demon and you're lawful, you'll regain a point of luck. Let's remember that shooting or making a ranged attack into melee is very risky, and you might hit one of the engaged allies who are fighting. There are a couple things about death. First, recovering the body. If you can recover the body of a slain ally within 1 hour, they might not actually be dead. If they succeed on a luck roll or a luck check where you roll under your luck value, they survive. And level 1+ characters bleed out for a number of rounds equal to their level. So if they get healing in that time, they come back and they survive. Any character that's wielding a light weapon in their offhand can make 2 attacks per round with 2-weapon fighting, but there's like penalties to the size of the die that you roll when you're attacking like that. And then below, clerics, the biggest thing with them is they can class cleric spells, but we don't have any clerics with us. A cool thing to highlight for them is they can literally just call on their god for miracles of divine aid, which are like unspecified GM fiat that helps you be awesome. Knights are dwarves, or knights are what are traditionally called dwarves in Dungeon Crawl Classic, but we've split species and class for this, the Pawns and Patrons show. So if you're a knight, you can perform mighty deeds as a warrior, and then you also fight with a sword and a shield, and you get a special attack you can do with your shield. Rogues, and the only rogue that we have in the party, and that's halflings, is Fran the Horse Lady, who's not with us today. The only thief that we have is Danae Touche, who I think also we don't have with us, right?
Yeah, she's home.
Yep, totally. Thieves are cool because they recover their luck each night up to their maximum. And when you are a thief and you spend luck, when you burn luck, it lets you roll extra dice on top of the roll. It doesn't just give you +1. Warlocks, who are elves, they automatically know patron bond and invoke patron. They automatically serve a patron. They have better martial weapon attacks than wizards, and they can cast wizard spells. Warriors, like Sky, Little Jimmy, and Redra, who I think are all 3 on this adventure with us.
I have a lot of those.
Nope. It looks like Little Jimmy is not, and maybe Redra is also not. So Sky is our only warrior. You roll a deed die along with every attack, and if you roll a 3 or more on your deed die and you also hit with the attack, you can do a mighty deed of arms, which is like a fictionally appropriate cool maneuver that accomplishes cool things. You also have an expanded crit threat range, so you crit on a 19 or a 20 instead of just a 20. And then wizards, with which we are absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
We have Agnes, Stretch Dudet, and Babs, who I believe are all 3 with us today.
Yeah, high magic party right now.
Yeah. They can cast wizard spells. Wizard spells are only lost for the day when you fail a spell check. So in contrast to spell slot-based systems, on this one, you only lose a spell when you fail the check. You risk gaining corruption when you cast especially dangerous spells, when you cast poorly. You might gain a supernatural patron and or a familiar if you cast certain spells. And you can spell burn your physical attributes, strength, agility, or stamina, to fuel your spells, gaining a +1 for each point that you burn. And your spell burn recovers at 1 point each day that you do not spell burn.
So would today be a great time for me to recover 1 strength?
It absolutely would. Actually, hold on to that for a second, because we're going to do the overnight stuff, because everybody gets to like heal some, and certain characters will recover luck and stuff like that. And then because we've separated species and class, let's just take a look at the species traits. So if you are a dwarf, like Redra is, you have infravision, you're slower at your movement, and you have a bunch of skills that are beneficial for you when you're underground, in addition to detecting the direction of strong concentrations of gold and gems. If you are an elf, and currently we have no characters who are an elf in species, they are immune to magical sleep and paralysis, vulnerable to the touch of iron, have extra bonuses to detecting secret doors. If you are a Froge, like Strej Dudet, you have sticky palms. You may always burn 1 luck in order to negate any weapon fumble. You gain a bonus equal to your level to both climbing and grappling checks. You're amphibious, so you can swim at your normal move speed underwater, and you can hold your breath for up to 5 minutes.
I feel kind of OP.
I mean, in comparison to like the elf or the dwarf, I think it's pretty similar.
I still feel like Froges are better.
I mean, I can't disagree. If you're a halfling like Growlbless, you have a small size and you have slow movement. And if you're a human, then you have a 30-foot movement speed, and that's all. And literally everybody else.
What's the point of being a halfling? Like everything else, like you got this, you detect traps, you are amphibious, and it's like you're a halfling while you're small and slow.
We might say that halflings also get their normal bonus to stealth if they are not, like, I added that into the class of the rogue, but we could say that halflings who are not rogues also get that stealth bonus to whatever class that they are. But being a small size means you can fit into places that are smaller, and also you can hide better just naturally. So there's definitely some advantages there. Yes, so with that in mind, let's do overnight stuff. So if you have adventured, wow, those pictures, Seltzer, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
If you have adventured, and all of you have adventured, then you recover 1 point of health per night when you sleep. So anybody who is wounded can recover up to 1 point of health.
Woo!
Anybody who is a rogue or a thief, and let's remind ourselves who those are. Our rogues are Fran the Horse Lady, who's not with us. Our thieves are Dunne Touche, who's not with us. But if either of them were, they would recover an amount of luck equal to their level tonight. Those of you who have spellburned, sorry, 1 second. Those of you who have spellburned can recover 1 point from any of your sum total of spellburnt abilities. And I think that that's only Agnes, right?
Yeah. Taking
Cool.
back his strength.
And I think that's it. Anna, you had a question or comment. What's up?
Is there anything preventing Henley from recovering hit points, or does Henley also
No.
recover? Okay.
Henley recovers 1 HP.
Yay.
Yep.
Feeling much
absolutely.
better.
They're back on track.
Henley, I think probably by this point, if they hadn't gotten medical aid, they would have died. But since they got assistance from a kindly old herbalist last time, they're all good and recovering HP.
Yeah, and someone was sitting by their bedside the whole time. Was it
I
Was it
think it
Agnes?
was Fiona.
Fiona?
Yeah, I think Fiona stayed behind and helped Henley.
Henley
And
is
also
noticeably attached to Fiona now.
Ah.
It only makes sense. Let's see, wait a minute. Where did my Miro board go? I closed it. So, nighttime falls and the 12 of you sleep. I remember asking if Froge or if Strej was sleeping in the master
Does-
bedroom chamber.
Does
Or if-
Strej know? I think Strej knows, right? And
I think
that's why Strej has been like super like teacher's pet style.
Yeah. I think we spread the information through the group at the end of last session. And I think if I remember correctly, Strej was, like, I asked if Strej was sleeping in the master bedroom.
And I said no. Okay.
Right. Or if he was sleeping in the like guest bedroom upstairs where everybody else is
I
packed in.
think I said I was with everybody, but I would extend, however, if some people prefer that we all sleep in the bedroom, we could sleep in the bedroom and, we could surprise them if they want to come and get me.
Yes. What are the rest of you?
I imagine in the bedroom is like a king size bed or like even bigger. So
Yes.
we could like all lay there.
Absolutely.
So it's up to you guys. I can sleep upstairs or we can sleep in the super bedroom in the king size bed.
Babs is like, the more the merrier. I don't know. Let's do it.
So are we sleeping downstairs or upstairs?
Whichever is easiest to defend, because Fiona is extremely suspicious now and very protective of
Well, if we all sleep upstairs, they will think we're either suspicious or whatever.
To remind you, the guest room and the master bedroom are both upstairs, but if you go up those big double stairs where at the top there's that frowning portrait of Sterum Duday, to the left is the guest room, and to the right is the master bedroom, and straight ahead is that ballroom that y'all found and explored a little bit last time.
I feel like if we slept in the master's bedroom, we would, if there was something to happen, we would know about it. If not, we'll keep not knowing.
Sky will suggest maybe having someone keep watch. The people can be in the master bedroom, the guest bedroom, with one person in the hallway between on a rotating shift all night. It's a dangerous swamp. Anything could come out of anywhere. Our hosts aren't necessarily the reason we're keeping watch. Maybe a tree falls on the building and everyone needs to be evacuated. Maybe a random fire starts, Cow could knock over a lantern. Never know what's going to happen. Should always have someone on fire watch.
Cow or elk could knock over a lantern.
Babs is like, a fire? And she's like clutching her ale barrel, like, no.
Yeah,
Very disturbed by this idea.
Lerdree is like, oh man, I didn't know this was so dangerous. I thought we were safe here. Oh man, maybe I should go get back into my armor.
Scribbles is like, yes, elk, cow, fire, lantern, yes.
You have a mighty great ID, my friend. How about you do the first shift?
Yeah, man.
Student need to
Totally.
sleep.
Who wants to come sleep in my master bedroom?
Babs.
I mean, it's a pretty shitty place where the whole group is, right? And like the master bedroom is like a king size bed and like fancy robes. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Luxurious. There's like a whole bunch of like bathrobes in the closet that all say S&D on the back.
We are all wearing those in my imagination. I don't know if in reality. But...
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll invite like if 3 people want to join. It sounds like we could be 4 in a king size bed.
Let's see. Yeah. So we've got Strej, we've got Bab. Is anybody else joining the
Fiona carries Henley from the bed in the guest room and places them in the center of the king-size Stranger Day bed.
Yeah, sure.
And tucks them in while glaring at everyone else. Like, I dare you to move them.
Henley's like,
We're gonna remove the skull icon from Henley as they
thank goodness.
evaded danger.
Stretch is feeling the Henley vibes. Like, you know how Henley is like, oh God. So we're both like kind of under the...
Just a little grunt.
You hear that noise?
Meanwhile, Babs is already asleep, like drooling.
Babs knows how it's done.
Drooling on the barrel, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
It seasons the ale,
Yeah. So outside we've got Jägermeister and D'Artagnan and Chattanooga.
Since I mind control Jägermeister, can I like ask him to keep an eye out and let me know if something, like trumpet if there's danger?
I think this is very interesting. Let's take a look at the limits of charm person. If I remember correctly, you got like some huge number.
Yeah, I think I like super critted that.
Did you not spell burn?
No.
Oh wow, you just rolled really well. Huh?
She critted that. It was ridiculous. It's like all of Anna's luck is channeled into pets, and
Yes.
everything else is a 1.
That's true.
Like,
And this is as I would like it.
Let's see. Yeah, there we go. You rolled a 20 to 23. The wizard can target a number of creatures equal to her caster level. Each target must make a will save or fall under the caster's complete control as if it were her friend. The target will not perform actions that are suicidal or which a devoted friend would otherwise not perform. The target is able to cooperate at full normal functionality while charmed. The target receives another save to break the charm according to its original intelligence. In Jägermeister's case, 1 month from now.
I guess that
I think
that doesn't mean that the elk can understand concepts like keep watch.
so. Like, yeah, that's the question. Like, would the elk understand? I think you could ask. You could ask the elk to like bed down in a specific location, and then if they were disturbed, they would act as a normal elk would. A normal elk who is incredibly passionate about, maintaining the friendship of one Babs.
Right.
And so like if you had like a spot where you were like, if anybody comes through here, we want to know. So we're gonna put the elk there so it'll shriek like a banshee when anything walks past. I think
gonna try to walk the elk inside. Just like not expecting that there's going to be any resistance to this, just like clip clop, elk is coming in.
So you start trying to walk the elk inside, and Navers and Rebruis are wandering the house, like putting out candles with like a little candle hat, like Navers comes over and says, "Hey, no, come on, look, no, it's not, look, it's got mud all over its hooves." And Rebruis is in the background saying, no elk.
Well, then you should clean their hooves if you're concerned about it. Like, this is your guest. Why are you, this is super rude.
Rebruis just like steps forward and crosses his arms, and like the crossing of the arms makes his bicep grow like twice their size. And he
okay, you don't have to be all. And she turns around and she'll if there's like a nice pleasant mossy tree like area kind of just outside the front door. Kind of bed down Jägermeister and give him a little kiss on the muzzle and like, I'm sorry, they're so rude. Well,
Jägermeister is
tomorrow.
Permanently looking at you with about a 38-degree tilt to his head.
It's okay.
I'm
retconning that she did this before she passed out in the king bed.
Absolutely. Yeah, so like Jägermeister is bedded down next to like an ancient Spanish moss-laden willow that's like just off the main path approaching the front of House Duday.
Nice.
If anything were to approach the front of the house, you would, or it is likely that Jägermeister would notice. And then like whether or not Jägermeister would like really react strongly would, I think, depend on what the approaching entity is. Cool. Is there anything else? Let's define who is where. Is it just the 4 Henley, Babs, Fiona, and Strege's master bedchamber?
I imagine us 4 wearing like 4 identical matching robes.
Okay, then
and they're so great.
Rachel and Anna and Scribbles are all with you all. Kate D and Agnes and Senga are in, and then Evie are all in the guest chamber. Sky, I thought I heard was going to be taking first watch at the top of the stairs.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. So we've got our watch over here in the center. Fantastic. Then, I'm imagining watches of 2 hours, aka you'll get 6 hours of sleep, and everybody else will get 8. What's the watch order? Sky, and then who's next?
Sky, then Kate, then D, then whoever D wants to wake up, which is
Evie
good.
will get in there.
Will be
Evie?
Evie.
Scribbles
Does
will
Senga
volunteer
need to
too.
sleep?
Does Senga need to sleep? What a good question. Do you ask her?
Yeah, Agnes was what everyone's discussing. Watch. She's like, "Do you even sleep?"
Let me take a look.
I like to imagine her like not sleeping, but kind of like just staying there with open eyes, but actually sleeping. If that makes sense.
Like in a trance.
Yeah, like
This, like-
and you hear the snoring. Like that's how I want to imagine it. Like heavy breathing, open mouth thing.
I just come on your show and make unattractive noises. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think she just looks at you and crosses her arms and says, does it look like I need to sleep? No, I'm as spry as a whippersnapper. I can do backflips in my sleep, which I never do because I never sleep. But I am very tired. It's been a long day. I'll protect you. You sleep.
That's very generous of you, Senga.
She's very enthusiastic about trying to stay awake, but she is actually like a physical being limited by entropy and matter.
Yeah, I'd like to, if you'll allow it, to put a little string across the doorway and sort of just like prop Senga on one side with like a little pillow and a blanket, and tie the string from like her nose across the doorway. So if anyone were to come in, she would act as sort of a proximity alarm as well.
Are you like tying it to her pinky finger so it like it tugs on it, it wakes her up? So here's a very important question. Agnes, do you have string?
Let's find out. No. No.
Does anybody else have string?
I don't got no string.
You're asking if we have some? Let me see.
All right, wait, here's a different question. Does the door
really like
open into the hall or into the room?
The doorway. So there's two doors in this room. One on the eastern side. Let's see. Let me just make sure. Yeah, one to the east opens out into the hallway, and straight ahead is the staircases to the right that lead down to the main entrance. So imagine like you're looking out at a hallway that goes across to the master bedroom. And in the middle of this hallway on the left, up high, is the portrait of Sterum Dude. Below that portrait is the big double doors leading to the ballroom. And to the right, immediately in front of those big double doors, is the huge staircases leading down to the main floor.
I see it.
And the door to the north is locked. The door in this guest chamber, the door to the north is locked.
Well, Senga will sleep across the doorway to the hall, to the that leads out to the ballroom, and then across to the master.
Cool.
I have rope if you want some.
Yeah, if we want to set up a trap, also down for that with Senga.
Okay. Best Christy, you looking for was it you weren't looking for a rope, like, right? You were looking for a string. And she's like, oh,
Can I peel like a single?
and she's like, well, I
unravel
might
the bathrobe. Just unravel like
whoa.
a thread of it.
Whoa. We can disrespect the bathrobes. Like that's Best Christy offers her rope.
Yeah, I guess we could string something up like that. That would wake up Senga, were anyone to step into the room.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's setting this up? Is it Agnes who's setting this up?
Yeah, Agnes is kind of like just draping the rope around Senga and then around the door and then making sure it's taut. and then kind of
Yeah.
like shoving Senga, and then the door like slams, and she's like, "Works perfect."
Yeah. So on your character sheet below your attributes, there's a little button marked luck check. Make a luck check for me, please, Agnes. Perfect.
Oh, that's Fiona. I'm so sorry. I have all my things open. Was it a good one? No.
It's still good. You succeed. So this is like, how well did you set up this clever trap thing? And the answer is pretty well. Like it does the thing and it works exactly as you expected. So you'll get some forewarning if anyone strange tries to enter your room during the night. Now then, yeah, cool.
And I would say in the master bedroom, Fiona, in her protectiveness of Henley, is probably going to just try and stay awake for as much as she can of the night to watch. I don't know if anyone else is going to volunteer for watch in there.
Scribbles
Henley-
volunteered for a watch, but do we have another shift to cover? How many shifts do we need?
We've got the watch at the top of the stairs completely covered. So if Fiona wanted to stay awake, like in the master bedroom, just to make sure there was nothing weird going on in the master bedroom, then that's totally fine. You could have another set of watchers in another location.
Yeah, Scribbles will ask Fiona if she wants her to take a shift.
And if Scribbles offers to take a shift, then Beskri also does, because she is also a scribe, and somehow there's this feeling that she needs to do the same.
Fiona says, yeah, I'll wake you up.
Are Scribbles and Beskri moving into the master chamber to be with Fiona and like take some watches in there?
And notes.
Okay, yep. Cool, I'm into it.
I take note that Scribbles is there, not actively taking notes.
So first watch is Fiona, second watch is Scribbles, third watch is Beskri. Is there a fourth watch in the master chamber?
Fiona again.
Fiona again. All right, that's fine. Cool. Then night falls.
I don't like that. What?
Night falls and the sounds of the swamp like rise outside the walls of the house. You hear like the sound of cicadas and frogs croaking in their swamps, and the occasional splish splash of something, splashing in the water. The drone of insects, just outside the windows. Sky and Fiona, 2 hours is a long time to just sit. Trying to pay attention and trying not to fall asleep. Do either of you do anything during your long 2-hour watch?
I try to make sense of the croaks and the ribbits that I hear out in the swamp. I listen for patterns. I try to analyze the going on. But Sky, I don't think is the brightest character in the pack. He's got 8 intelligence. Yeah, he doesn't roll particularly well on his intelligence roll. I think this guy gets bored with that rather quickly and just enjoys listening to the frogs. They're soothing croaks. The gentle white noise.
Yeah. Frog is like, he was nervous, but as soon as like silence hit and like the sounds of the swamp just emerges, he goes into like the best sleep ever. He's like holding his little like wardrobe and he's like, and then he hears the mosquitoes and it's like.
So Fiona, you hear the lip smacking happy sounds of a very pleased frog, just rocking themselves to sleep in bed. Do you do anything with your 2-hour block of time, I might call your attention to the fact that there is a luxurious master privy
Pooping in style.
that is just off the there's a sliding door in the east side of the master bedroom that leads to a privy.
Oh yeah, Fiona, once everyone falls asleep, she's like, well, I don't have to sit here. Maybe I'll take some of my herb and blow it out the window of the bathroom. Help me stay awake and focused. And
True.
so yeah, she's gonna, she's gonna get very bored and start wandering around, and as the furnace does, she's going to roll one up and try and blow it out the bathroom window. But, she's sitting there between tokes, and she's going to be looking around for anything else that catches her eye, of course.
Nice. So in the master privy, there's a bath with plumbing and a toilet with plumbing. And then there are like various oils and unguents on the like bathroom tabletop with like the mirror in front of them. There's like a tongue brush, a couple of popular frog, beauty products.
She's touching everything. She's gonna pee for fun because she's never peed in a toilet before. She's gonna just kind of figure out. She's never really seen a lot of plumbing, so she's gonna be turning on and off a lot of the tub things. And then once she figures out she can slowly run the water, she's gonna let that fill up and check out all the potions and lotions on the counter.
The water is hot, but it smells like rotten eggs.
Well,
the various unguents and oils that you find are all intended for frogs. There's an under eye embaggener. There's wart polish. There's moistening clay. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Fiona can really even read. So she's just kind of taking some and putting it on her forehead and here. And then she's got the tongue scraper and she's going to do a little of this. Everything wrong. She's brushing her hair with the fork. She's screwing it up.
Very important question. Is wart shiner something you use to shine your warts, or is it the root of something like wart, W-O-R-T shiner, something else that is made of wart?
No, it is literally for shining your warts.
Okay, had to know. Regret knowing, but had to know.
All right, hang on. There we go. That's how we ban people. I had a little advertiser in my chat that I had to ban. Awesome. So, Fiona, you're completely occupied. There's the sound of running water, the steam filling the bathroom.
Oh yeah, the faucet's pretty loud, huh?
The window is open so you can hear the sonorous sounds of the swamp filling the room as you sink into the hot water and feel all of your aches and pains just ease and relax. You're completely out of the picture. Sky, you hear something as you're sitting bored at the top, making absolutely no sense of the croaks and stuff outside.
What do I hear?
You hear someone say, "Now, it has to be now."
I get to my feet and listen. Did it come from that end of the hall or the other end of the hall or above me? Where do sounds come from?
It came from below you. You heard it from down the stairs.
Well, I'll have to creep to the stairs then.
Yeah.
Does Sky have a weapon? If so, he will keep it in hand. Yeah.
Well, you tell me. What weapon does
I've got a short sword, so he'll just pick it up off the floor and creep carefully to the staircase and poke his ear out.
Is that your lucky weapon?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. A warrior's lucky weapon is a weapon to which they always add their luck modifier when making attacks with it. And that is true even as your luck modifier changes as you gain and lose luck. So if you have really bad luck, for example, don't discount your lucky weapon because you're just not working well with that weapon these days, but that may not be true in the future. Yeah, so you start creeping down the stairs
Whoa. No one said anything about going downstairs, sir. We creep to the top of the stairs and listen
Sorry, I
first.
thought you were sitting at the top of the stairs.
I wasn't sure exactly the positioning. I just want to be careful that I'm not like willy-nilly and walking into a trap.
Totally. It sounds like the sort of thing I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we remember that like the stairs go down to this large entrance hall where there's like a table with a vase of flowers, and to the east there's that sunken wing where it's all just like flooded and underwater, and to the west there's did y'all got like a little tour of that? There was a smoking parlor off that direction, but then like behind you underneath the stairs there are doors that lead to a dining hall and then to a kitchen and then to the servants' quarters. And it is from the servants' quarters that you hear vague, hushed whispers. If you don't want to move any closer, we can try a luck roll to see how much of the conversation you hear. But really, from where you are, it's not good listening position. If you want to really hear what people might be saying, you'd probably want to find another position to be listening from.
Yeah. Well, like I don't want to disturb anyone's beauty sleep over nothing. You know, it could just be people talking about whose turn it is to take out the trash. You know, this might be the ideal trash taking out time. I don't know. So we'll have to creep down the stairs, as you had said, and get a little bit closer.
All right, cool.
It's rude to assume the worst in your hosts, you know? It's just impolite.
I'm really hoping it's exactly what you said, Neal, because it's excellent. It's just like Steven big time trolling us. Like, time.
You know that Thursday morning is trash pickup morning in the swamp. It's your turn to take out the trash.
Exactly.
Take this dagger and take out the trash.
I don't want.
You know there
anymore.
might be crocodiles
Throw it away.
outside. You need self-defense.
Yeah. So you creep down the stairs to the base of the stairs. You're starting to hear just a little more clearly. You hear like the sibilance and like occasional peaks of someone's voice. You can tell. So there were. Navers came back at the end of the day yesterday, and he brought two people with him, two frogs. An aged, wizened, bent-over man wearing darkened glasses with deep green skin and a baggy black servant robe, named Fallow Wimple. And he talked like this, and he called everyone young master. And then there was also Edwina Mubb, an elderly bent-over woman walking with a cane. She was wearing black lace gloves and a baggy black servant robe. And she had this like sort of high laugh that you heard a number of times. And you hear that laugh again. You hear her say, ah! But that's all you can hear from the base of the stairs. Now again, there's about 4 possible exits available to you. To your left is the sunken east wing. Straight ahead is the exit out into the swamp where, of course, Jägermeister lies, probably sleeping. To the west is the smoking parlor, and then back behind you, first is the dining room, second is the kitchen, and third is the servants' quarters. And it's from there that you hear these peaks of conversation.
Well, it's time to go remind the servants that there's people sleeping upstairs and they need to keep it down. So I'll head to the servants' quarters and, we got a whole host of folks upstairs.
Are you trying to be quiet at all, or are you like stomping?
Of course, there's people sleeping upstairs. I'm not trying to wake anyone. Gentle walking.
Cool.
Such a good guest.
Click that luck check button on your character sheet. Hey,
2?
Yeah. So you made a luck roll, but down a little bit below that luck check.
Sorry. There we go.
Yeah, totally. Because it's a success. But yeah, you're feeling lucky. You very conscientiously move through the house, avoiding all of the creaking floorboards that you know are there because you paid attention earlier in the day. And You make it all the way to like the kitchen door leading to the servants' quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear Edwina say,
Augusta, we'll nearly be done with the ritual. We must get back. It must be done now.
I'm not sure what this ritual is, so I'm going to crouch low and listen more carefully and continue to overhear maybe who this person's talking to, but I don't want to like peer around the corner. I just want to identify voices. You had said Fallow, Wimple, and Edwina?
Yes. So there's Fallow Wimple was the older man, the older servant that Navrist brought in to help, ostensibly to help with the preparations for the feast to welcome Strej Dudet to the house of Dudet. And then there's Edwina Wimple is the woman whose voice you're hearing now. Yeah. You hear Navrist reply, and he says,
Hey, listen, we gotta take our time. These things have to be done in a proper order. You know you can't rush these things. I know how important this is to you and yours over at the old school. But this is important to Swamp Dudet. Think of how much better our circumstance will be.
and you hear Edwina say,
When you're right, you're right. But tomorrow at the latest.
I have a feeling that they're not talking about taking out the trash, you know? That's rarely two people procrastinating together on this one. No one's insistent that it gets done today and then is like, yeah, it's fine, you're right, tomorrow's another day. So maybe I should go talk to Strej. Broj.
Strej. Broj is long gone. Twice dead, Broj.
It's hard to give up on Froge. I need to go talk to Strej. Ask what this dark ritual is all about, this thing. So I will go back upstairs nice and quietly and walk on into the master bedroom, unaware.
The master bedroom smells heavily herbal.
Are you loud? Can Fiona hear you?
I think Fiona is in, well, what is your luck score, Fiona?
She's blazing in the bubbles, and her luck score is... she's got a 10 out of 10 for luck.
Cool. Type for me /roll 1d16 less than 10.
That whole order of operations.
Oh, that's minus 10. I want the less than symbol, but it's fine. You rolled a 5, which is good. So actually, yes, you're relaxing. You feel like this is probably so. What's your occupation, Fiona?
Fiona used to be, and still kind of is, a forester. She was born in the woods, she lived in the woods, and she always thought she would die in the woods. But now she thinks she might die in this bathtub because this is the nicest place she's ever been.
Literally, yes, this is the nicest bath that Fiona has ever taken. In my headcanon, Fiona took all of those oils and unguents that she smeared on her face and also poured them into the bath.
One sniff, if she liked it, it went in the bathtub, and if she didn't, she was like, "I'll leave it out."
Nice,
fantastic. You do hear, the door open, just like creaking quietly, as someone steps, padding softly into the room.
I really should find Strej, but there is this aroma that's coming from somewhere in the house that it takes higher priority. So. Where's this smell coming from? I'll follow it to whatever room I can find.
It seems to be emanating from the bathroom.
Yeah, I'll just walk into the bathroom.
You hear, as I hear your footsteps, a giant splash. And this tall, muscular woman has thrown herself out of the bathtub and is standing in the middle of the bathroom, ready to fight. There's no weapon nearby. She left that all near the bed. She's feeling very foolish, so she's gonna grab. Is there a glass bottle? I assume that one of these fragrances came in. Yeah,
absolutely. There's some perfume bottle that you poured entirely into the,
So she's gonna take it by the neck, smash it on the counter, and that's what you see when you enter the bathroom.
So Fiona, just Were you bathing in your clothes, Fiona?
No. We nudie pants.
Why would you?
Fiona, completely nudie pants, as they say, broken bottle in her hand, like roaring her defiance. Everybody in the house wakes up. Everybody hears this. Stretch hears this. Henley hears this. Everybody over in the other, Kate, Dee, Agnes, Senga hears this. There's probably like a thump from the other room as like someone trips over the string that like they can't get the door open because Senga's whole like there's a whole shenanigan over there that goes on. You hear the sound of like thumping coming upstairs, and like the master bedroom door slams open, and Strej, you're staring face to face with a frog who's like 5 times your size in body mass, and Reb Ruiz says, "What problem? What problem? Invasion."
Fiona's screaming, "Attacker in the bathroom! Attacker in the bathroom! Ah!"
Attack bathroom! Reb Ruiz just like stomps through the room, slams open the sliding door, and just like bear hugs Sky from the back. Let's look up grappling.
Sky is baffled.
As Reb Ruiz slams open
The frog
sliding
hug or the
bathroom
naked
door.
lady?
Naked lady's not a big deal. Frog hug is weird. You know.
Yeah, and then a frog hugs you from behind.
Mhm.
Let's go to our first 5-minute break, and when we come back, we will have looked up the rule for grappling, and we can figure out what.